All right, well, thank you for joining me for today's AI skill development workshop. We're going to be hands-on today. And today, I don't know where all of you are at in your AI journey, but we all have a starting point. And perhaps you've already had your starting point and you're already using AI productively. Maybe you've tried AI, but you've been underwhelmed with the results of your experiments. Maybe today is your starting point. So wherever you are at on your AI journey, you'll find something that you can use from today's workshop. And as a matter of fact, we're going to try something new today. And at the very end, for those of you that are attending live, you're going to get an AI workflow prompt. That'll make sense as we go forward through today's workshop. So let's do that. I am Dave Holton, and if you don't know me, I'm the president of Marketing Ideas for Printers. If you do know me, I'm still the president of Marketing Ideas for Printers. And I'm also a member of Simple Academy, and that is a community of the world's leading experts on AI skill development. At Simple, our mission is to guide you through the transition to an AI-powered economy. And my job is to help you as a commercial printer navigate that transition. And part of that is to be your guide on the journey to become an AI workflow master. So what is an AI workflow master? For clarity, this is a term that my AI community invented to create a shared language around this idea. And this is what we mean by an AI workflow master. So Andrew Wilkinson is a billionaire that runs an internet holding company. You can think of him like the Warren Buffett of internet companies. And this is his post on X, hiring for an AI first director of finance. So this is not a post for hype. He's running a serious business and he's hiring for a serious role. And the punchline of this post, he's looking for someone that can do the work of 10 people by using AI. And that's today's reality. People applying for jobs need to demonstrate that they can indeed do the work of 10 people with the assistance of AI. And so that means three things. If we look at the current role to do the work of 10 people with AI, that's what it means for our current role. It also implies that for future roles, we're going to be able to learn new roles and skills 10 times faster. And then finally, certifications means that you can prove you can do these type of things with AI. All of that gets bundled into that term AI workflow master. So we're going to dig into that as we go through this today, and we're going to learn by doing, and we'll have an exercise just in a few moments to kick things off. Before we continue, though, go ahead and get your favorite AI tool ready. That could be ChatGPT, Claude by Anthropic, Google, Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, any of those. Just kind of have those ready. And because we're going to go hands-on, and we do this because there's a huge difference just between passively consuming information and proactively participating in the workshop. If you don't have a favorite AI tool yet, that's all right. If you haven't started, if that's your starting point, just go to chatgpt.com and create an account. It'll take about 30 seconds. And then go ahead and get the chat tool ready. And I'm going to do that same thing. I did not do that yet, but we'll need to do that later. So you'll see the little cartoon balloon bubble there. And get that chat tool ready. And give me your answer to those three questions. Tell me a little bit why you are here. Give me an A or a B or a C. A means you're an employee and you're doing the work, you're serving customers, you're running the jobs, you're in the trenches. B means you're a solopreneur and you're supporting printers with creative or marketing or specialty services. C means you are the owner. The buck stops with you. You're running the show. It's your name on the line here. So I see AC. I see a few others drifting in here. So go ahead and fill that out. Tell me why you're here, and we will continue after that. So no matter which of those answers you picked, just know that today's workshop is going to give you tools to move faster and perform better. Now, I do see, of course, that most of you are owners, so we'll be shifting our focus primarily from that owner's lens. All right, so a few more things just to kind of set the stage, and I'm going to take a little extra time on this part today because this is going to set the stage as we continue when we talk about AI workflows and AI workflow prompts. For those of you that are attending live, if you heard the introduction from Corey before we started that, that's what Corey was talking about. We will talk about that as we continue here. This is a progression that we're going to look at from a simple prompt to an upgraded prompt and to an AI workflow prompt. And you can see them all there. A simple prompt, it really is just what it sounds like, a simple prompt. It could be as simple as tell me a knock-knock joke, and AI will indeed tell you a knock-knock joke. Big deal. How do you make money with knock-knock jokes? Maybe some people in the world do, but probably not us in the printing community. So that's a simple prompt. We have a simple prompt that kind of kick things off at AI4printers.com. If you look at the AI tip of the week, we rotate a new one in there every so often, and that starts with a simple prompt. Honestly, it's a little too simple, so I kind of hope you don't use it. I hope that you use the upgraded version of that prompt, and then I hope ultimately you use an AI workflow prompt. All right, enough of me talking. Let's unpack what those mean. I'm going to show them quickly on the screen and then also in the browser. So a simple prompt could be as simple as this. Ask me for 2 or 3 recent sales opportunities that went nowhere. Then list the common red flags that showed those leads were a poor fit. It's a simple prompt, and if we drop that into AI, which I have done ahead of time here, it'll give us that conversation. Just as a side note, when I was running these, I don't know if this is true for everyone else, but my version of ChatGPT running a little bit on the slower side today. That's usually an indication that something bigger is right around the corner. So we'll see. Maybe by the end of today's workshop, we'll have a whole new thing to talk about with ChatGPT. All right, so simple prompt. Ask me for 2 or 3 recent sales opportunities that went nowhere. This is what we're telling AI to do for us. Then list the common red flags that showed those leads were a poor fit. And you can see there it is. AI is indeed asking us for those, and we're responding. And AI gives us some basic information: common red flags, chronic quote seekers, price-only shoppers, perpetual stalling. We've all been there. It's a simple prompt. Doesn't really reveal anything terribly powerful, but that's still good information. But we can do better. So our next version is, let's take that simple prompt and go even further. This is the prompt upgrade. There's always an upgraded version of that simple prompt available at AI4printers.com. But if we look at this prompt upgrade goes a little bit deeper. We're telling AI, let's get a little more interactive. You can see it on the screen there. The prompt upgrade is, you are a customer-centric selling expert, and your role is to help me build a practical disqualification filter. So we've already given AI a little bit more freedom to be more helpful. AI will then ask us those 3 things. And when AI asks that and we provide the answers, AI will identify patterns and red flags, create a list of up to 6 disqualifying signals, and generate a 3-question discovery filter. And all of a sudden, we're having AI do a little bit more work for us. What does that look like? I'm sorry, a smarter version of me would have had that right up in front of us. Let's pull that one up. A prompt upgrade looks a little bit more like this. So if we drop exactly what I had on the screen, we drop that in there, you can see now AI is getting more interactive. AI is going through those questions we told it to. Question 1, can you share 2 or 3 recent sales opportunities that failed or stalled out? That's exactly what we had AI do. It said, ask us about that. And so we respond. How many of you have been here? Have you had a prospect who kept asking for quotes but never committed? Customer who wanted rock bottom pricing and disappeared after you held pricing firm? Or prospect that said, we'll get back to you, but then stalled? These are the type of things that we run into, so AI can help us analyze that. Now, instead of just a quick in and out answer, AI is going to continue. Let's get a little bit more information here. What type of customer do you target? Small to mid-sized local businesses. How do you usually qualify leads in your conversations? I usually ask about budgets, timelines, and project type in that first call. And then AI keeps on going. It says, oh, now I'm seeing things here. I'm seeing some red flags. I'm seeing some disqualification signals, and AI is actually helping us do some work here. I'm going to stay a little bit higher level on that, but hopefully you're seeing that transition from a simple to an upgraded prompt. We're getting a little bit more meaningful information. But that's only part of the progression. And the next part of this progression is the AI workflow prompt. This is part of the AI MBA, which we'll talk about more as we go along here. And this is what you're going to get, this exact prompt, at the end of today's workshop. If you stick around after the recording is done, I'll make sure to give that out to all of our live attendees. So what is that AI workflow prompt? Well, just to keep it high level for now, this one looks like a wall of words. There's a lot of stuff in there. If I go all the way back to the top, everything in this gray box is what I told AI to do. This is a prompt that is pre-written for you to use, and it customizes itself in the way that it interacts with you. Staying high level, AI comes in and says, here's where we're going to go with the work that we're doing. And it offers, before we dive in, would you like a quick overview? Well, sure, kind of matches up with what I already hinted at earlier. We're going to learn by doing. Well, here's the learning part now. So AI is saying, would you want a quick overview? Yeah, give me the quick overview. Here's the quick overview of disqualification philosophy. You'll be able to read this on your own, your version of this, once you get that prompt at the end. And then AI is going to say, well, let's get going. Let's do step one. So step one is AI is asking for information. How much time do you estimate you spent in the past few months on deals that went nowhere? And what patterns or frustrations stand out when you think about those? This is where you take a few thoughtful moments and answer. I've already pre-answered with some of that information, so we're going to go fast, but this is where it takes those few thoughtful moments where you would respond. Give AI some information to help accomplish step one. And AI will come in there and say, does that look like the right information that we can use to continue with the next step? Now, do we want to turn this into a practical filter we can apply early? Sure. So then we move on to step two. AI asks us for a little more information, and we give it that information. 2 or 3 specific deals that from recent memory that stalled or ended in no decisions or turned out to be a poor fit. Well, we'll tell those. There's that regional nonprofit mailing. And then there was that retail shop flyers and posters, and that professional services firm with the folders and newsletters that looked like a great lead. We'll pull in our memories here. We'll let AI say, I might see some things that you might be overlooking here. And AI is going to continue on. I'll stay high level. AI is going to continue. We go to step 3. We give it information. AI says, okay, here's another thing that I see. Do you feel confident spotting those issues in real time? I could use a little help. That's why we're here talking with an expert in the form of AI. And AI will then move on to step 4 and create that disqualification filter. AI continues to ask us more information, and we'll provide that information. And then before you know it, AI will give us step 5, that final deliverable with a disqualification filter. Red flags to watch for, 6-question disqualification checklist. And then we'll just keep going as much as we want. A call script. Okay, I went high level on that. I wanted to give you a taste of an AI workflow prompt. I'll be giving you this exact AI workflow prompt at the end of our session here today, so you can try that out as well. That all sets the stage for where we're going to talk about you plus AI skill development. Now that we've set up the simple to the upgraded to the AI workflow versions of that prompt, now we can get to our regularly scheduled programming and talk about AI skill development. Here's the agenda. We are going to talk about the 3 actions needed to become an AI workflow master, the 3 opportunities that exist for AI workflow masters, and the 3 options for participating in an AI saturated world. Spoiler alert, here's what's coming. You're going to get the opportunity to receive $4,000 in AI certifications and training. That's because you are here on the call with me. And if you want that, if you don't already have that, I see a number of familiar names on here. So some of you are already in that scholarship process. Good for you. If you are not and you want to claim that, just drop your email address into the chat at any time, and I'll make sure to get you set up for that. We'll talk more about that scholarship as we go as well. Just to touch on it a little bit, here's what it includes. It includes the AI Workflow Practitioner, which is 9 AI workflows. Those are yours to keep and use, and that'll give you the AIWP, WP for Workflow Practitioner, the AIWP certification that you can use to show the world you know how to use AI workflows. You'll also get the AI Workflow Expert certification. That is a tool that that part of the scholarship includes 8 workshops, self-paced online workshops. There's actually 9. There's an introductory one as well. But those workshops will take you from an AI novice to an AI workflow black belt. The result of that is an AI workflow expert certification. This is for the builders in the room that want to learn how to build AI workflows. And that also comes with the scholarship, 1 per company. We'll talk about that again at the end. Who is claiming these scholarships? These scholarships are being claimed by serious AI people. That means these are the people that either are or want to become AI workflow masters. If you don't feel like a serious AI person yet, it's time to change that. It is within your reach, and you will be a serious AI person by the end of this webinar. Just a reminder, if you want to get that scholarship for free, that's something you should do on this call. So if you feel like you might drop off before the end of our time today, just go ahead and drop your email address into the chat now so you can claim that scholarship. Now, let's talk about the 3 actions associated with AI skill development, and that is productivity, performance, and engagement. And it starts with a simple question. How can AI help me do my work faster and easier? AI will help us build a toolkit of all of our areas of responsibility and the daily work that we do in each of those areas of responsibility. That's the starting point. And so you're about to get an AI prompt that will help you do just that. And you can get your AI ready. I'll give you those AI instructions to build your own productivity toolkit. When you do, you will see that it will identify your areas of responsibility, just like the ones that are on the screen here, but it'll be customized to you, and that'll show across the top when AI creates this for you. AI will also then fill in those columns, going down in each column with the daily work you do within each area of those responsibility. Now, it looks like a lot of information on the screen, and you have permission to ignore it for now. Matter of fact, I'd actually ask that you ignore it for now because we'll bring more attention to that in a little bit. Because at this time, we're going to take a few moments so that you can create this toolkit for your role right now. So I'm going to paste this prompt that's on the screen. I'm going to paste that into the chat for you, and you'll be able to copy it. And when I do, copy it, but don't run it because there's a few parts I want to talk you through on that. So let me get that ready. And that will be coming into the chat right about now. So go ahead and grab that out of the chat, copy it, but again, don't run it yet because there's a few things I do want to show you. And I'm going to paste it into my chat GPT. And again, this can be used on any AI. It doesn't need to be chat GPT. This will work on any common AI. And what we'll do is have you customize just those first 3 lines. Ignore all those double slashes on the front. That's just kind of a formatting convention that AI really kind of ignores. But the part that I want you to pay attention to is change your role if you're not the owner. Look like most of you are the owner, but change it if you need to. And the company size, and then your industry. I'm assuming all of you are here in commercial printing, but maybe you'll change that with signage or apparel or add something like that in there. So customize those 3 lines. Then once you do that, ignore everything else there and just run that prompt, just like I'm doing on the screen right now. So take a moment to run those prompts. And as you do, you're going to see that come across the screen. You're going to see those areas of responsibility starts to drift in. And my screen is a little bit on the smaller side, so I have to scroll left and right, but you should see something very similar to that. And this should be fine-tuned to you, your areas of roles and responsibility across the top, and the daily work within each of those, filling in the columns underneath each. So experience shows that this productivity toolkit, as it's showing up on your screen, just even right out of the box, it's going to be 80 to 90% accurate, which if you really think about it, that's pretty amazing that AI can just pull that information just of what it knows just on that little bit. It'll get that in a pretty good spot. If you are seeing things in there that kind of say, that doesn't look right, I really don't do this, or that's not my area of responsibility. Like for instance, on this one, I'm just going to pick one, could be anyone. Maybe you are not the person that does risk management and compliance, or you just don't do that. You just go ahead and have that conversation with AI. I don't do risk management and compliance. Find another one for me, or an individual item in there, and just have that conversation with AI and fine tune it if you'd like. All right, so that on your screen, if you've run that prompt, you should see something similar to this, your first draft of your AI productivity toolkit. Okay, a lot of information on there. We're going to start unpacking that now. What does that mean? Why are those important? Okay, so on my screen, you saw it run on my browser. Yours will be similar. On my screen now, this is a complete productivity toolkit for sales and marketing and commercial printing. Now, what you have on your screen is not a toolkit yet. You have a toolbox with a bunch of labels on it, and it still needs to get filled with the tools. How do you fill it with the tools? Well, again, what's on my screen has all those tools. There's a tool in place, one for each box. This is a productivity toolkit with ready-to-use AI workflows for sales and marketing and commercial printing. And that is a toolkit that is available to you as a service from AI for Printers. You will also learn how you can build the tools for your own toolkits too. All right, so we're going to zoom in on one of these tools just so you can see what this means in your world. And we're going to take a look at one of the tools in the toolkit. We're going to look at lead scoring model. And go back to my browser. Actually, let me go one more slide here, because what we're going to do is we're going to look at the results of running an AI workflow. We already set the stage earlier, the simple to the upgraded prompt, and now to an AI workflow prompt. This is another AI workflow prompt from that toolkit. And if we look at that, it will look something like this. As soon as I can find my mouse wandering around, there we go. So if we look at the toolkit, let's take a look at the lead scoring model. Again, this one has been pre-run, but it'll give you that same idea. And it's that big, huge wall of words that you don't need to pay attention to. You need to know how to copy and paste, which we've done here. You don't need to worry about anything about what this means, because this AI workflow prompt will self-customize for your use here. And so what happens is AI says we are going to build a lead scoring model for commercial printing sales following the structured process outlined in the instructions. Step 1, define lead scoring objectives. AI is going to come alongside us and ask us for information. It's going to say, tell me a little bit more about you. Clarify the why behind the model. And we can see it's asking for information. Again, I'm staying high level. We're not going to get into the weeds on this one at the moment. This is where you would come alongside with some of the thoughtful responses and give AI the information it needs to work on this part of the process. Okay, so AI is going to come along. It's going to say, you've given me some good information. And now here's an important thing to note. AI is coming along and say, do you agree with what AI, have come up with here? And you can say, no, let's tweak this a bit, or, yep, that looks good. Let's keep going. So if you and AI are in agreement with step 1, then the natural next step is move to step 2. Identify high value lead attributes. Again, AI is going to be giving you, asking you, I said giving, I should say, asking you for more information. So it knows how to best work with you. So AI is asking, let's define your best fit customer, and prompts you for some information about that best fit customer. And you respond, and AI says, okay, good. I have enough to do some work again. You go ahead, you do this, take a sip of coffee. AI comes back and says, I'm done. Let's take a look at step 2. And there it is. Step 2, you have that point to check in and say, yeah, that looks good. Let's continue. And on we go. Step 3, we're going to define engagement signals. AI asks for information and it says, here's what I know. Do you agree? And we do. So let's go on to step 4. Let's assign weights and scoring rules. Here's what AI suggests. AI says, does this align with you? And we say, yep, that looks good, or no, we need to tweak something, and on, and we keep going. Now AI is ready to implement a system for score updates. AI continues to ask you for more information, and then it has enough to get to the next step where we are going to have a lead score update system. And we keep on going until we get to step 6, where we integrate that into the sales process. And then we have the final review and implementation. So 7 steps. I've just gone through them very rapid fire here, but 7 steps where you have given AI some information. AI has said, all right, let's think about this. You go ahead and drink your coffee. I'll come back with my results. Let's agree and let's continue. That is how an AI workflow works. So now we are at the first of 3 turkey problems. There are 3 turkey slides in this presentation, so bonus points and gold stars for you if you find all 3 of them. I'll tell you that I experienced this turkey problem head on when it became clear that AI was going to impact the way that we provide marketing services to help you sell more printing. The turkey problem comes from a book called The Black Swan. It's an amazing book published around 2009. It's about the fact that we live in a very unpredictable world where the things that matter the most for the long-term success of the economy, our society, and really everything else, that can all be impacted by something unpredictable that comes out of nowhere. We've all been there. We've had those unpredictable moments hit us. What do you do when you live in a world that's like that? Well, in one of the chapters, the author talks about what he calls the turkey problem. The turkey problem goes like this. The turkey wakes up every single day and is predictably cared for by a farmer. It gets fed every single morning. It gets to go out and play in the yard with its turkey friends. It has this really nice place to hang out every night. So this turkey is basically taken care of. And that cycle repeats itself day after day after day after day after day until eventually the turkey concludes, this is what being a turkey must be like, and life will be like this forever. Until that one day, usually right before a holiday like Thanksgiving, when a turkey usually ends up on the table, something changes, and the farmer comes out, grabs the turkey by the neck, and all of a sudden, it's lights out. And that happens in our world too. The turkey problem shows up like this in our world when it comes to AI. The turkey problem says, okay, well, AI can do this task, but it certainly can't do, and then fill in the blank. Put in whatever your favorite thing is that you think AI cannot do in here. And here's what I want to suggest. If it's on your screen right now, if you still have, well, I don't have it on my screen right now, but if you still have that productivity toolkit that you created, if that's on your screen right now, I am going to suggest that that is where you want to pay attention to the turkey problem, because everything on that screen, AI can help you with. Not only can AI help you do it, but in your current role, it's you plus AI can do the job at least 10 times faster with no compromise in quality and usually an increase in quality. Okay, that also applies in your future roles too. But let's talk about that current role version of that, because AI plus you, that's the first thing. It's you plus AI. We're not letting AI just go out and do its own thing and run the world. I think that's scheduled for later this year. We'll find out. But for right now, it's you plus AI. That's the important part. And it's you plus AI doing the job at least 10 times faster. Hopefully you see that there's no question about that. Even in the few examples that we looked at already today, AI can do that work 10 times faster, oftentimes a lot faster. If you were before we started with that and saw the video from Corey, 2 weeks worth of work done in 35 minutes, easily more than 10 times faster, and no compromise in quality. Now, that's the one that can make people bristle a bit, saying, really, no compromise in quality? Well, there can't be a compromise in quality because as we just looked at it, there are multiple steps in an AI workflow. You are quality control at each one of those steps. So if there's a quality issue, that finger points right back at you because it's your job to do that quality control at each step. And then that last part, an increase in quality, usually an increase in quality. That's going to become increasingly true over time. As I said, if my AI is running slow today, which is usually an indication that there's an update coming, well, every update that's come has just even more increasingly improved that quality. This is progressing fast. I maybe couldn't have said that 2 years ago about the increase in quality, but we can say that now. AI is moving that fast. And then that does affect your future role too. In your future role, you can also significantly accelerate and many times even skip the lengthy learning process. That's part of what's built into these AI workflows, is actually doing the work with AI, because that is the best way to learn something, is by doing it and doing it alongside AI. That's how we're doing it. All right, so not only is it helping you do your current role better, it's also helping you learn how to do new roles once you have the AI workflows for that role. All right, let's get back to our agenda here. And now we're going to talk about performance again. If we looked at that productivity toolkit that we just created, most people are going to find 5 or 10 or more workflows in that productivity toolkit that really move the needle a lot and save them a bunch of time. It's not unusual to find that people will shave off maybe 20% of their daily work time. That's where AI can help there. And here's a way that you can think about that. If you are used to doing your job Monday through Friday, now you can do it Monday through Thursday and take your Friday to be more strategic. That's where you can put that 20% of your daily work time. So with AI, a great way to become more strategic is to run performance experiments. And whoever runs the most performance experiments wins. Let's bring that closer to our world. If you're the printer running the most performance experiments, AI will help you be the printer that wins. And so we're going to shift now from that productivity toolkit to the performance experiment toolkit. So get your AI ready again, and I'm going to give you instructions to build your own performance experiment toolkit. What you'll see is key performance indicators fill in across the top. And in plain English, these are the things that you are responsible for doing better over time in your role. And then in the columns, you'll see that it'll fill in with a combination of experts in the field, world-class experts, and known strategies from those experts to help you get the results that you desire. All right, so I'm going to give you another wall of words again. Again, this is a prompt that I'm going to put into the question. Into the chat here. I see a question. Do I pick one thing from each column? So that is a question that we'll tackle when we get into the details. Right now, we're just going to build the toolkit. So let me get that prompt ready for you. Oops, I have got the wrong one in front of me. Here it comes. And this one goes a little bit silly sometimes because my chat window likes to turn things into emojis on some of these. When you copy that out, it should turn back into text again. So if that does not happen for you, wave your hand, flag me down, and we can talk about that after the fact here too. But go ahead and copy that and put that into the browser. And let me go back where I want you to go is back into that AI productivity toolkit that you created earlier. This time, everything that's in that chat, copy it and just paste it in, and now you can run this right away because AI already knows the context from the productivity toolkit. It'll take everything it knows about you and now build the first draft of the AI performance toolkit. So again, these are the experiments that you can run that help you get better over time. And these are the experts and the strategies that they recommend. All right, so again, what's always I like to throw out that caution. Sometimes this can look like a scary wall of text. Make sure you're looking at the value that's behind these, the value that's being created here. You don't have to understand how this works. You just need to know that it's working with you as it's building this tool out here. I'm going to let that keep running in my browser, and let's go back to the presentation here. So another wall of text. It's not that interesting on its own, but again, what it represents is very interesting. The time it saves and the value it creates. That's what we're looking at here. This is the kind of work that represents tens of thousands of dollars. And we're compressing both clock time and calendar time. We're getting things done very quickly. And so what we're going to do now, we're going to take a look at this performance experiment toolkit, and let's take a look at just one of the AI workflows for sales and marketing and commercial printing. This is the one of the items from that toolkit is from Blake Morgan, increased retention through hyper-personalized experiences. And we'll take a look at that. This is another one that I have pre-run. Here's what the AI workflow looks like. Pay no attention to the scary looking wall of words. All you need to know is that it does work for you. So let me pull that one up. Let me get to the right spot here. Hyper-personalization strategy. There we go. So again, I'll go all the way back up to the top, and I'll go through this one quickly because it's really very similar in structure to what we did before. But now we're looking at it from the lens of performance experiments. So we put this all into AI. This is just copying and pasting it in there. And AI comes and says, great, you're set up with clear structured approach to increasing retention. Let's begin working with step one. What is step one? AI says, let's analyze the current level of personalization and give me some information. That's what's going on here, this context request. So we give it that information. And AI says, okay, I can use that and work with that. So if we look at step one, the assessment, AI says, here's your current level of personalization. Does this assessment align with your current personalization strategy? If so, we move on to step two. If not, we ask AI to help us a little bit here. So step two, define customer data points for personalization. AI says, tell me a little bit more about you. Well, there it is. Okay, once AI has that, it'll assess that. We'll come alongside, we'll do that quality control, say, yep, looks good. Let's move on to step three, implement an AI-driven customer segmentation. Same thing. AI says, looks good. Tell me more about you. To tailor this strategy, I need to know if you're currently using any of the following. We provide our feedback. AI helps us with step three, says, here's what I know about step three. Do you agree? And on and on. We say, yep, we agree. Let's do step four. AI asks information. We give information back. It says, here's what I know. Do you agree? Good. Let's do step five. Let's automate personalized interactions across all channels. More exchange of information. We give AI information. AI takes it in, works with it, and says, here's what I've come up with. What do you think? And on we go. Step six, measure and optimize personalization performance. Step six. And then we go to, we get to the end with the final, I was going to say step seven, but we are at the final deliverable. Now we have a hyper personalization strategy. Obviously, I went through that very fast, very high level. So this is where you would take a few thoughtful moments to work with your AI partner there. AI is playing that role of a world-class expert to help you do real work, much more than just tell me that knock-knock joke. AI is coming alongside you to do real work here. So that is what a performance experiment can look like. So let's go back to that performance experiments toolkit again. These can all be turned into a bunch of experiments to help you move forward. AI can help you run these experiments in a hugely efficient manner. Now, once again, notice that AI is pulling information out of you. It helps bring things to the surface that you might not have even thought about. So what we have on the screen is a bunch of experiments. And whoever runs the most performance experiments wins. These are the things that we believe will make things better, that'll help you enhance the brand messaging or increase qualified lead volume, all of those things that you want to improve. And if you've ever set out to accomplish a goal in business or your personal life, you know that it starts by just doing that very first thing that brings you closer to that goal. And if you knew how to do that one very first thing, well, you'd already be doing it. So really finding that first thing to do, that's step number one. And then, because you need to stretch yourself to get to where you want to be, you're going to sit down and you're going to create a list of ideas. You're going to come up with a list of maybe 10 or more things. And if you've ever done that before, if you've paid attention to the experiments you've ran, you'll have come to the conclusion that out of those 10 ideas, every one of which you thought would help, 8 of them maybe made no difference at all whatsoever. I know, sounds kind of anticlimactic, but that's the truth. Sometimes these things don't work like we want. That's the process of experimenting. You try something, it won't be as helpful as you'd hoped. You made promises to yourself about the results and it didn't work. That's fine. That's the risk that comes with doing experiments. Then one of those things you thought would make things better, maybe it actually even made things worse. You thought something would improve results, but it took progress in the other direction. We don't want that one either. But somewhere hiding in those ideas, there's that one that's going to make the difference. And if you knew which one it was that was going to make the difference, well, you'd just do that one thing and we wouldn't even have to have this conversation. We wouldn't even talk about experiments. We just know that in order to produce better results, we just need to run as many of those performance experiments as we can. And that's why we say whoever runs the most performance experiments wins. Or if we look at that, we can even dial it in closer to our world. If you're the printer running the most performance experiments, AI will help you be the printer that wins. That's how it becomes real in our world. Now, let's just pretend that you and I are very similar in our expertise. And in reality, maybe you're better at marketing than me. Maybe you're worse at marketing than me. But for this conversation, let's just pretend that we're exactly equally capable and we are working on the marketing project. You're going to do it the old way without AI. And I'm just going to run all of these marketing experiments as fast as I possibly can. And at the end of the quarter, we'll find that I will have run circles around you because I ran the most performance experiments and found the best producers very quickly. And that is what takes us to turkey slide number 2. Because now you should be able to say 2 things. You should be able to say AI can help me create a lead scoring model and AI can help me develop a hyper-personalization strategy that enhances customer retention. We just went through both of those from the productivity toolkit and the performance experiments toolkit. What you might be saying is, but certainly it can't replace my expertise. And I'm going to suggest that if you ran those prompts to create your own list of performance experiments, and if you looked at those experiments for your current role, you will find that you plus AI can run the performance experiment at least 10 times faster with no compromise in quality, and usually an increase in quality, not compared to yourself without AI, but actually comparing that to the world's top experts. So not only is your expertise in danger, every expert's expertise is in danger. And this is the major aha moment for people in this new AI world, being able to run these performance experiments faster than anybody else. Now, even better, in your future role, imagine becoming the person who, no matter how the world changes around them, is able to produce results 10 times faster than anybody else, still adapting to the changing world. Okay, now to pull this all together, under the category of engagement, we need to do 2 things. We need to track results, and we need to communicate progress and expertise in the form of certifications. So we have a process where we very simply look at what did you work on, how long did it take you to do with AI, how long did it take you to do before without AI. And all of that calculates a number, and your job is to make that number go up as high as you possibly can for everyone on your team. Now, if you don't think measuring progress is a big deal, just think about the last time you posted on LinkedIn or any social media. What's the first thing you did? You start tracking results and checking progress. I just did it this morning. I had a LinkedIn post a few weeks old about my daughter bringing our first grandchild into the world. And I put that on LinkedIn and it's still climbing. I'm checking the progress. I'm engaging. That's what makes social media so addicting to so many people. Tracking makes an enormous difference in engagement. Second thing is certifications. They mark and reward your progress. Certifications allow you to prove your AI expertise and to promote that AI expertise for you and your team so that you can show the whole world that you know how to use AI to get results. That's something that makes you different than other printers. You have the certifications to prove that you are AI ready. All right, we are about 45 minutes in, and we are actually getting close to the finish line, probably about 10 minutes away. So let's dive into the opportunities that result from becoming an AI workflow master. Okay, so the opportunities, we know that every time that there is a major shift in technology, there are orders of magnitude of opportunity created in the economy. We've been through these. We've been through the PC revolution where Microsoft, we know them now, but there was a time where they were unknown and they came out of nowhere. Now they're world famous and fabulously wealthy. Same thing for Amazon, the internet revolution. Amazon came out of nowhere. Social media, there was a time that Facebook didn't exist and it came out of nowhere because of the great opportunities that were in front of them. Uber for transportation. So how do you do that? How do you find those opportunities to come out of nowhere? Well, you see the opportunity and then you take action. So what are those opportunities? We're going to look at those quickly for employees and solopreneurs, but spend most of our time from the employer perspective. But opportunity number one is for employees, and that is where you can upskill yourself or your employees. Employees are running the equipment, managing the products, keeping the jobs flowing. And if that's you, AI can help you do the work of 10 people, not by replacing anyone, but by making yourself way more valuable. People used to hear that and have that stigma that says, if I start using AI, I'm going to get fired. They're worried that they're going to set themselves up to be replaced by AI and get let go. But who gets let go? It's not that person doing the work of 10 people. It's the other 9 people not being productive that are going to let go. So I won't camp out on that one too long today, but yeah, for your employees, if they're in a specific role, there's lots of upside for them to get upskilled. As a business owner, you want those kind of employees. Opportunity number 2, that's for the solopreneurs in the room, freelancers, consultants, designers, specialists who support print shops from the outside. And with AI, you can scale your solo operation by delivering more value faster. Experts are saying that in the next few years, we'll see the world's first billion-dollar valuation solopreneur company, which just sounds nuts, but that's what's being said. But let's even scale that down to 100 million, so it sounds a little more reasonable. And the truth is, these already exist. The $1 million valued service, $10 million niche education service, $100 million a year industry niche solutions. All of those exist. Just to plant a seed, I've talked with a number of printers who are ready to transition to their encore career. That might be you, and AI can help you get there. But we'll keep moving on this call because most of you are inside the print shop and not circling around on the outside. So let's talk about what really moves the needle if you own the whole thing. What is opportunity for employers? The opportunity is simply to make more money as a company. And this is where the focus shifts to the team that you employ. What happens when an organization full of people starts to apply these AI mastery methods to their roles? You get to a point where the employer that builds a team with the most AI workflow masters wins. You need to hear that one. Let me say that again. Whoever has the team with the most AI workflow masters wins. You move faster than your competitors, you find new opportunities, you execute the most AI-powered performance experiments. You will be positioned to be the printer and the marketing service provider that emerges out of the AI revolution. So we have three options. Let's take a look at those three options. The first option, not the one I recommend. First option is to do nothing. That's a bad idea. You'll soon be living in a world that expects you to use AI to do the work of 10 people. Excuse me. It's not enough to have a fleeting familiarity with AI. You need to know how to use AI to come alongside you to do real work every day. That real work, that's all the boxes from those AI workflows that we talked about on those grids. You can take a look back at Andrew Wilkinson's post here again. There's one line in there. It's kind of an interesting line where he says, would never hire a lawyer unless you absolutely had to. And that line kind of seems a little bit out of place. But if you think about what's really being said, it makes perfect sense. If you paraphrase that, what he's saying is this person would never spend company resources on external service providers unless you have tried to first solve the problem with AI yourself. And then and only then are you allowed to spend company resources on expensive outside service providers. So the turkey does nothing. Don't do nothing. Do not be that turkey. You don't have to be a turkey. You can turn into an AI eagle very quickly and very efficiently. Could be a tough year for a lot of people, but it can be a very good year if we can help you get focused on the opportunities for AI workflow masters. Now, if you decide to do something, you can do this yourself. You really can, but it will take you time to filter through all of the AI buzz and all of the hype to find the good stuff. So if you do it yourself, you have to hope that you can get your AI skills to the point where you can stay ahead of the advances in AI. And those advances are coming so fast. It seems like every week, if not every day, there's something rolling out. You can find others to help you too. And if you spend a few moments on social media, you'll find plenty of ads offering AI help. But consider this, that if you've seen some things here today that you haven't seen before, that might suggest to you that my AI community understands some things about AI that others do not, and that you might want to consider continuing your AI journey with marketing ideas for printers, because we are laser focused on helping printers with their AI journey. And that's why we're offering this scholarship to help you get started. The Company Champion Certification Scholarship. That's $4,000 in AI training and certifications, and it's yours for free. If you drop your email address into this chat, or if you're watching the recording, if you send your email to me, and then we'll get you set up with that scholarship. That includes the AI Workflow Practitioner certification. That is the 9 valuable AI workflows for you and your whole team to keep and use as often as you want. It includes an exam, very friendly exam, open book type of an exam that shows you know how to use AI workflows and apply them to your business. The result of that is the AIWP, AI Workflow Practitioner certification. And that is where you can start to promote to the world that you and your team can use AI to do real work. That's free with the scholarship. The next one is you can become an AI expert, become an expert at creating AI workflows. That includes 8 workshops. It's really 9. There's an introductory workshop in there as well. Those workshops are self-paced workshops designed to take you from an AI novice to an AI workflow expert that actually teach you how to build the AI workflows. The result of that is the AI Workflow Expert certification. And that's a way to move from a consumer of AI to an AI builder. So this is one person on your team you can designate as that builder. And the scholarship includes 1 AI Workflow Expert certification. That's normally $3,000 if you do it outside of the context of the workshops that I present. But that is free with the scholarship, limit of 1 per company for that AIWE certification. Okay, so it's a high value offer. It's a no-brainer, and I'm offering the scholarship to you because I love working with printers and I want to see you succeed with AI and not just play catch up. So you're either going to call me silly for making such a high value offer, or I'm going to question your sanity for not accepting this high value offer. We can wrestle that out on a phone call if we need to. So for now, though, the other thing is the news that has not yet made it into the slide deck is that this scholarship also includes a 30-day preview of the AI MBA. That's the collection of over 3,200 AI workflows that will help your team in 7 major areas of business like strategy, sales, and HR. There's a ton of ready-to-use focused AI assistants in the AI MBA. I touched on one of them at the beginning of the webinar, of the workshop, and it'll give you that one AI workflow prompt here at the end so that you can get a taste of what that's like. And the scholarship comes with a 30-day trial of that for you and your team. All right, so we'll start wrapping things up now. The future belongs to AI workflow masters. Who's that AI workflow master? That's the person that in the current role can do the work of 10 people using AI, and in your future role can learn new roles and skills 10 times faster and can prove it to the whole world with the certifications. On a personal note, for me, this has become very personal. I started exploring AI partly out of curiosity, but mostly because I wanted to make sure that my company, Marketing Ideas for Printers, was prepared for a world that was about to be saturated with AI. It really became so much more than that because this is really personal because I've spent my career helping printers succeed. And I have never seen a shift like this one. AI is not a trend, it's a transformation. And you can approach this transformation not with fear, but with confidence. And that's why I want you to have the tools and the confidence and the support, not only to keep up with AI, but to lead with it. That's why we have the AI for Printers programs, specifically built for printers like you, because it fits perfectly with our promise of helping you sell more printing. And with that, I'll wrap things up. And now I'm going to give you that freebie. I'm going to give you that AI workflow prompt. And here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that into the chat here. I did not have that open in front of me. Give me just a moment to pull that up here. And here it comes. So this is the prompt that we looked at the very beginning of the presentation about building a disqualification filter. We started with a simple prompt, we moved to an upgraded prompt, and now I'm going to drop this into the chat so that you can try the AI workflow prompt that's part of the AI MBA. So your instructions are just to go ahead and copy that out and run that on your own. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end the recording, but I'm going to stay live. I'm going to turn off my camera, but I will be here for the next 10 to 15 minutes or so, and I'll turn off my camera and my microphone. And if you want to try running that prompt, I'd encourage you to do so. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, and we'll check in with your progress. Thanks for attending today. I'll let you do the work on that prompt on your own. I'll be here to help you with your questions.